Another episode of the Coming Soon podcast with Spider.
Hello, everybody. Spider here, Coming Soon podcast. Once again, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas, being joined by Dylan, Heath, and of course, Ezra Buzzington. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Dylan, you go first.
Yeah, going well. Going well. A little sleep deprived, but good. Thanks for having me.
Scamming and frauding all over the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I mean, of course, thank you for staying out, man. I mean, I know it's you're saying it's 6 a.m. out there in Australia. And let me ask you, are you guys a day ahead also?
Yeah. So it's 15.
Maybe Thursday today, or
yeah, it is. It's Thursday. Thursday morning, 6 a.m.
what do we have to look forward to then tomorrow?
I was gonna say, how's the weather?
Well, over here, hard to tell. I mean, it's kind of mild. Yeah.
Nice.
We have it right now. I'm in Los Angeles. We have it at currently clocked at 87 degrees.
Nice.
Going up to mid-90s today.
You see, and I'm in Texas. It's been nice and chilly the past few days. I know it's supposed to be starting to reach the 90s, later this week. So, I mean, I'll take it because over here usually we're like at 115.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like an oven. It's an oven. So,
where you're San Antonio? You said
San Antonio? Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty city.
Oh yeah, have you guys ever been to Texas? Well, let me ask that.
I've been through Texas, and I took a shit ton of pictures of like abandoned buildings and crapped out signs and stuff. It's along, what is that, 10? 10 goes through there, right? Yeah. So we were driving through because we were going to see my aunt in Metairie, Louisiana, just outside. Sorry, Alyssa Dowling has joined our group.
Oh, there you go.
How about that? I knew it before you did, Spider. How'd that happen?
I was gonna say, where is she at? I can't see her on here.
That I don't know. I just got a little thing from this little thing right here.
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom up real quick.
I don't understand anything technical, dude. I'm nothing but right brain. That's all I am. Numbers, equations, nothing. I can't. I freak out. I just freak out. I get anxiety and I freak out. And I start to cry, and that's not pretty when you're my brain.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, I can't seem to find her.
Now we lost Spider. Hi, Dylan. How you doing?
It's just us hosting the show now.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ezra Buzzington, God of all, other than Dylan. He's his own God.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So we were saying, you were telling me what you're up to these days. Any movies or anything?
Well, yeah, we do. So we shot one with Black Forest not too long ago. I think it was in September-ish, maybe a little bit later. Haunted and Devoted. Yeah. Which is on our socials for Black Forest.
I've been following. I knew already the answer. I just wanted to hear what you had to say.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Spider, by the way, you're fired, man.
I know. I was going to say, it's my first day on the job, guys. Come on. Give me a break. No, yeah, I can't. I logged out to see if I could see her on my screen, but I don't see her on there. If she's on,
let me see what it said on my phone. Maybe she was actually trying to reach me. That's professional glasses. Oh, what is this?
Yeah, get off my line.
Alyssa says it's asking for a credit card to log in.
Oh yeah, I think
I got around it.
They said she was going to pay the bill. So
should I just call her? I'm going to call her.
Put on speaker, man. Let's talk.
If I can figure out how to fucking do that, man.
Because she's not on
your stuff.
all these TikToks and thumbtacks and all that stuff, man.
Dowling, where are you, darling? Let's go.
But man, I was telling Heath earlier, man. I mean, when it came to the film, how fun was it for you guys? Let me ask you, Heath.
Yeah, super fun. I mean, yeah, with the road trip itself, because the movie is obviously a road trip movie, and we actually did that road trip. So we started in LA, and we had a few days there. Then we went to Portland, started filming, and then we made that road trip through Las Vegas, which is in the film, and then landed up in LA again. It was just an awesome time. Like the crew definitely feel like a family almost. Like, we lived together that whole time. The scene that Ezra's in was actually where we were staying in LA. It was just a really kind of wholesome vibe and super fun the whole time for me. and I think for a lot of the crew and stuff that were involved.
Now let's not short sell this the way you say the scene that Ezra Buzzington was in. I'm in 3, motherfucker.
True. Sorry, I'm thinking of the predominant theme.
Yeah,
the one that I was in.
The scene where actually say something is right.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, for me, man, I got to tell you, I've done like, I don't know, 2,358 indie films at this point in my sad ass career. And I remember how we hooked up. Honestly, I was contacted by Addison, I guess, through somebody, probably. Oh, Elisa. That's who it was. Of course. Duh, you came through Elisa. And she recommended me for the role, basically, of a, I don't know if you know who he is, Spider, but Max Hardcore. Do you know who that dude is?
Yes.
Fucking asshole. Hot videos, but a fucking asshole. Yeah. Tell it like it is. Anyway, they needed somebody to play a version of him so that Alyssa's character would have, excuse me, now I got a frog in my throat, a very dramatic, very beautiful scene. And so we had met each other before, but now we've met up again, and it's just incredible. And like I said, I've done so many independent films, and for me, it always boils down to 2 things: who's doing it, you know, if I know them, and how I know them, and if I think I'm right for it. But then the script. I mean, it's got to come down ultimately to the script, because that's what's going to be up there. Yeah. No interpersonal relationship is going to be up on the screen. No off-camera fighting is going to be up. Whatever. None of that shit matters ultimately. But the script and the character and a part of me that I can tap into, that I can bring life to that character. That's always the criteria. And that's true for everything except, for example, a Spielberg film. You know, I don't give the fuck what I'm going to do in it. As long as I'm on set and you're going to pay me, then I'm happy to do it. But indie is where my heart and soul is. I think most people who've known my work realize that. And not specifically horror, just any indie. I love any indie films. And yeah, I'm real excited. My most recent, I guess before this one, was Brooklyn 45, directed by Ted Geoghegan. And he had told me years before that he had this other script that he was working on, and blah, blah, I'd be right for it, and blah, blah, blah. And I finally got it. I went, oh my fucking God. And that script also was just incredible. And the ensemble like this one, American Msquerade, was also incredible. And they were all, that's the thing, they're all doing it for the right reasons, in indie film especially, and definitely in horror, but also indie film in general. It's because it's not about the money. It's not about, you know, the Golden Globe or any of that bullshit. It's just about, not to discount it, I'd love an award. But, yeah, why not? But for me and the background I come from, which is a very artistic family, my mother was a poet and an actress and a songwriter, and my stepfather was an English professor. I was very lucky to grow up in the red state of Indiana, surrounded by people who love the arts and pass that down to us. And so it's ultimately the arts. I was in theater for years, not movies specifically, but arts. I want to do the arts. And American Msquerade is definitely in that category. I think Elisa just texted me again.
I know. I think they just messaged me and they were telling me that it is asking for a credit card, which is ironic because, not ironic, but I guess it shouldn't be doing that. So I told
it did me too. But then it said, go back in, pull down this menu, because it wouldn't allow my mic or my camera unless I was a member.
Wow.
So I thought, okay, I'll just join for free. But then they asked for the credit card. I went, fuck this. I don't. So but then I went back. I turned it off and started all over again. And there was in the upper left-hand corner of my screen a little thing that said, allow, always allow, meaning, or allow just when visiting today, meaning my mic and my camera. So I clicked on that. Next thing I know, I'm in the room with these crazy people.
Gotcha. I think he's talking to you, man.
This crazy.
No, yeah, because for some reason they shouldn't be. I mean, not unless it's thinking you guys are trying to get an account and is asking for that. But that's kind of weird. I've never
Addison's on it too. Addison just texted. He's on it with her, so we'll see.
Okay, cool. But yeah, because I just resend her the link, so I'm hoping she can jump on and definitely make some sense out of you guys. Because
have her go up to the upper left-hand side of the screen, and it'll say allow today, allow in the future, allow blah blah blah, and just click allow and you'll be in.
All right, I'll go ahead and message her that. And let me ask you, you know what you mentioned earlier when it comes to indie. I mean, it's not because it is indie, so of course, for me when I think of that, it's more you can be more artistic, you can be more creative, you can be more, you know, you don't have anything holding you back from being, you know, extra. You know, when it comes to the writers, I mean, they can definitely, you know, drop some great stuff, man. And I for one, I loved the film. I mean, I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay, let me see what it's about, you know, and it caught me. It hooked me in. Before I knew it, I was like, man, I had to wait and find out what was going to happen because it was one of those movies where it's like, man, you don't want to blink. You know, there was so much going on. When it came to the actors, the characters, there was something like I was telling Heath earlier, man. It was kind of like after a while, I was rooting for not so much the bad guys. Here we go. We have Alyssa jumping on here real quick, guys. Let me add her real quick.
Hi.
There we go.
There's my lady.
Thank you.
Hello,
for
boss.
joining.
She looks fabulous.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
What's so funny because I
Welcome.
almost wore that exact same skirt and dress for this interview. I'm so glad I didn't now.
He actually logged off so he could change because he was like, man, I can't do that. So thank you.
That's why yeah.
I'm game.
Hey, Dylan. Oh my God. I
Hey.
love your face. I love your faces. I miss your faces. So I just want to squeeze them and kiss them.
Yeah, you too.
I was asking these guys. I mean, when it comes to the film, because it looked like a lot of fun. I mean, I've been in indie films, and there you go, the co-star. There you go,
Oh
co-star.
my God,
And,
your AD is with you.
you know, but I gotta ask you, Alyssa. I mean, when making the film, I mean, you guys have done plenty. I mean, you've been on plenty of projects, so you cannot but end up being friends with people, and after a while, it's like a long lost friend that you're like, man, you know what, you kind of miss it. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
Yeah. This one especially.
Yeah.
This was like, yeah, even I'm gonna cry just talking about it. We got so close, and it was so special to me, this experience. It really was. I
no,
love you guys. I love working with you guys so much. That was like
What are you doing now? What are you doing these days, Alyssa? Other than
well,
crying.
yeah, the last film I did was Rent-A-Cop Co-op. Oh, Co-op Rent-A-Cop by my friend Billy Butler. It was in December and it was really fun. We did a comedy, but I've been doing other stuff, handling some family stuff for a little bit. So I'm taking kind of a breather. But I plan to get back to it. I'm also kind of moving into wildlife rehabilitation. So
Nice.
I'm setting up a sanctuary, yeah, for
For
raccoons.
what? For what? For
Nice.
everything? Or?
Raccoons, yeah, raccoon sanctuary for
What?
they.
That
Yeah,
is
I have a thing
so
for them. So,
cool.
yeah.
So then I have a question. Then when I retire, can I be in it?
Yeah. You would fit right in,
A
Ezra.
little dark
Seriously.
around my eyes and.
Yeah, no, you would fit right in with these crazy motherfuckers. You really would.
You know, as a kid, when I was probably about 8 or 9 years old, my older brother was like next door, this big old white trash house right next door. We had a white trash house too. It was a white trash neighborhood in Muncie. Yeah. And my sister and I heard a lot of barking and screaming and yelling and blah, 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 blah. And we looked out and my brother was over there kicking away dogs and shit. And he's holding something. And he comes running in our house and he runs up the stairs and he's got a baby fucking raccoon.
Aww.
Yeah, he saved it from these fucking dogs.
Wow.
And so we put it in the bathtub and we cuddled it. And my mom came home and she cried and it crawled up her shoulder. It was so cute. And we kept it for like 9 months, about 9 months, and raised it. We named it Fremont and raised it. And it was so sweet. And so one night, you know, in White Trash, Muncie, houses are about this far apart.
Yeah.
We're on the second floor, and Fremont always loved to sleep with us, so especially my sister, but you should see her. Anyway, so he would climb out sometimes her window and just sit in this great big like cherry blossom tree that was right outside. Well, one night, for whatever reason, he decided to. This is a long story. I'm sorry. This is good. It's in my book, House on Main. Buy it. It's available. Fremont jumped from the tree into the next door neighbor's window.
Uh-oh.
Now, normally they wouldn't be home. But they had a guest who was staying there, one of their nieces or something, going to school at Ball State. And she was in the shower. She came out, she got in bed because Fremont always liked to sleep under the covers. So she crawled in her bed, naked, totally naked, crawled in her bed and said, what's that? Something furry down there. And then the furry thing moved and she leapt up, turned on the light. And there's this Fremont doing his little Fremont thing. And he loved people. Shrieking at the top of her lungs, of course, the animal people, your people,
yeah,
came and got him. And took him to a nice farm.
Oh, that's good.
Isn't that a great story?
Sometimes they, it's good when they go to rehabbers and stuff, because sometimes when people take them in, just because they've been so domesticated, they'll euthanize, which is like horrible. It's a perfectly
Oh,
healthy
man.
animal.
Right.
So
They
back
won't
then
survive.
things were better. It's worse now for them. They get a lot of hate, and they shouldn't. So
I
I'm
love
going to
that.
try I want to start a refuge they have a condition called CH when the moms get distemper, and it passes along to them. It's a neurological condition where they're all like wobbly and stuff, so they can't live in the wild. So my goal is to provide a safe haven for the CH raccoons.
Oh, that's so
And,
cool.
Yeah,
Man,
so
I
Nice.
gotta,
I'm looking
I
for
gotta ask.
property right now. I'm gonna get a couple acres. I want it to be able to release them too when I get babies, and
Nice.
it's not just raccoons. Like I have a baby rat right now that I'm weaning. That's super cute, and I'll do skunks and possums. But my heart is with raccoons because they're such
Understandable.
assholes. You know.
Man, you're gonna be like Cinderella. You're gonna be out there with the
Yeah.
birds flying, and I can see that. That's pretty cool.
Only it's like pigeon shit all over my head. Yeah.
And let me ask you, where are you at that you have raccoons? Because I'm in Texas. I mean, we have possums.
So I don't have any yet. I'm in the
Okay,
process
okay.
of setting up the sanctuary, but I do volunteer work for some of the other wildlife rehabilitations. And so I get to work with them there, and they have some. You can be like an off-site volunteer, and you can take in a litter and wean them, and that's legal here. I'm in Florida, so
Oh,
that's
okay, okay.
that's legal here. I have a place in Burbank still, and I'm here most of the time. My daughter's in school here. So I go to LA when something's happening, and try not to subject her to too much city life. In the meantime, she's got like the pool and the happy life here. So
Nice.
You see, and I can see that. I mean, because here, I mean, of course, I'm a dog person, so we have like 4 dogs. We got like 2 turtles. We have a pond in the front and the back. We've got all sorts. I mean, we have like the best house in the neighborhood. I'll say that much, because it's neighbors are like kids are trying to look at our turtles in the pond, and we got koi fish and all that great stuff.
oh,
But
nice.
but my thing is, like, we have possums, and they're good because they eat ticks for one thing. Our neighbors' house.
Possums are great.
So,
Yeah.
They do great
so it's like-
things. They
so
eat
for me-
ticks. They keep
Oh,
the
yeah.
pests down.
They do.
And they're nice animals. Even the wild ones, you can pick them up. I mean, they don't bite. They just they play dead.
They
It's
fall
like-
asleep.
I'll take your word
Yeah.
for it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I want to.
Raccoons will mess you up. Raccoons will.
Yeah.
They will.
raccoons give
Oh,
you
they have
the-
opposable thumbs. Raccoons.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They have little
And
hands.
they bite, and I talked to a
Oh,
rehab.
I'm not lying,
she
Dylan. They'll
said
fuck you up.
They will fuck
They
you
will
up.
fuck
Yeah.
you up.
There was a lady who I talked to. She had bears and stuff. She said, I'd rather fight a bear than a
Yeah.
raccoon.
Then a raccoon.
Because
Wow.
they are just vicious. When they want to get you, that's it.
They're gone.
Well,
So
you see,
that's why I love them. I'm like, oh, you guys are such assholes, just like me. And I got to do something for you,
And that's why you liked all the actors in our movie.
there you go.
Yes,
I was
bunch
gonna
of
say something,
assholes.
but yeah. And I gotta ask you. I mean, on that note, I mean, Dylan. I mean, are you out there? Starting a kangaroo sanctuary? Or
Well, no, but do you guys know? So opossums have a very distinctive look. Do you know what Australian possums look like?
They're so cute.
They're
like
cute.
super, super cute. Yeah, they're
do they
even
look
cuter,
like?
I think.
Yeah, they because I don't know if they're like evolutionary cousins or something, but
Yeah, they're related.
they're quite different looking.
They
Yeah.
are.
like as
They
far as
are.
color,
But they're
like,
both
what?
marsupials. That's our only marsupial in the U.S. is the possum.
Oh.
I don't think we have any other marsupials. So
So for
it's
the
our
Australian,
closest connection to Australia.
possums, were they also sent to the continent from England, or did they just were they already there?
I think
No,
they're
that-
just,
yeah.
I
Were
don't
they
know.
sent to prison
They're
camps?
native.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would be native.
They come
Yeah.
from Australia.
Yeah.
hmm
All right.
Wow.
You guys have a bunch of weird shit there. I can't wait
We-
to go visit. I'm
We
coming to
do.
visit.
You would love the animals.
Oh man.
I'm doing it. It's happening.
Every
I've
time
already
I
talked
see
to Addison about it. It is happening.
You gotta
I
come.
inherited a bunch of airline miles, and that's where I'm going.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
I'd love to show you around.
Yeah,
Man,
I would love that. I miss you guys so much. I really
You
do.
too. Miss you guys as well.
Yeah, and of course, I almost forgot we're talking about this film, right? I mean, of course.
Oh, that's right.
American
I've been
Msquerade, you
waiting
know?
all this
That's
awesome
why we're
talk.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
But yeah, so but let me ask you, the film itself. I mean, there is some grotesque, some scenes. Of course, you know, Ezra will definitely plug that in. You know, there's some scenes out there that aren't for kids. It's pretty dramatic. I mean, the storyline reads so well. Editing, I'm not sure who did the editing, but they did a phenomenal job because they made everything click. They made everything just kind of flow perfectly to where I was like, man, you know what? I mean, one scene, I'm worried, you know, about Indy. Next scene, you know, Dylan's over here. You know, his character is like creating havoc, and there's so much going on. But at the same time, I don't lose interest. It's just like little waves, you know. And it's I think when I had messaged the director, I was like, man, it was like an emotional roller coaster. You're kind of like, damn, you know, all over the place, you know. So I mean, with that being said, I mean, you know, Alyssa, you had mentioned, you know, it was you guys had fun out there, so of course you got to learn, get to hang out with everybody. You know, how emotional was it for you to play that character? Let me ask you that.
So especially with the Ezra stuff, I had something happen in my life that wasn't exactly that, but similar. So it was easy for me to just remember that when I was getting angry and taking my revenge and all that. I had someone in mind that was a total like sociopath asshole that I knew early in my career, and it was, you know, it was dark. It got pretty dark, but you know, it was like, what was nice about it is I had like everybody's support, and I could get to a real place. Ezra's so fucking mind-blowingly talented. I mean,
what a thing to say.
he's, to me, number one in my opinion.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry, my sound went off. Would you say that another 5 times? Please?
I mean it. I mean it. So he made it really
Backcatcher,
easy.
darling.
He made it. It
Because
was
we
hard
hadn't
because I love him
we
so
hadn't
much.
worked together, right? Alyssa?
Um,
We hadn't done anything scenes.
I don't think we did.
I don't think
before
we
that.
had. And so when I got the call, it's like, oh my God, I get to work with Alyssa. That'll be great. And then of course I read the script, fell in love with it. And yeah, it well, like I was saying earlier, you know, independent art is different than modern, especially now modern American cinema, which hardly exists at all. And so I think this will be an opportunity for independent cinema. What's happening now with the disaster that's happening with all the economy and with Hollywood and the strikes and the madness and the COVID and everything that's shut down, and corporate takeover. Yeah. I have to start looking at all those major films. Not that they're calling me, but those major films now is okay. That's fine. Netflix won't pay me much in residuals, so those days are gone. What I want to do in my later years is do what I fucking want to do, and not worry as much about the money like I did before. Now, so I'm, you know, I'm okay. You know, I'm okay. This is an apartment. It's not a house. And I drive a 1990 Toyota Corolla still.
That's just so nice.
Oh my God.
Nice car. I like it.
When what we were just talking about, the concept of a bunch of people getting together and making a work of art like American Masquerade is a thrill to me. And to get to work with these two kinds of people. I mean, I didn't know anybody but Elisa. I didn't know a single soul. I knew nothing about these people. I'd seen snips rather of trailers or what have you online. But I thought, oh, they seem capable. They seem fun. So I drive to this shit ass location. I forget where it was, like South LA. I was like, I've never been here before.
There was a poop on the street.
Yeah.
Remember it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. that whole
yeah, a human poop on the street.
my God.
And it was mostly, you know, it was mostly families. So the neighborhood was actually okay. It was just like super, super run down. And as it turns out, had construction going on across the street. Yay. So trying to make a movie when construction's going on across the street. That was challenging, but we got it. But I remember I got there dead on time, because I'm always dead on time, man. If I'm not early, I'm always there. And I show up and I come to this house and I think it's the right place, but it's just a house. You know, there's a car and it's early. I was like 8, I think, in the morning. So I kind of go up and I timidly like tap on the door. It's like, teep, 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 you know, expecting maybe some little old lady to come out and her, what? Can I help you? You know, something like that. And it's kind of sort of open. So I went, all right, well, I guess this is the place. And I walk in the room. Dylan, I don't know if you remember this. I walk in the little entryway that goes into the living room, and I look around, and it's basically my college existence lying in front of me. There are like 6, 7, 8 people lying on the floor, filthy. All I saw was dirty feet and hope. And I looked around and I went, oh, this is the fucking place. Everybody started getting up. I was like, okay, yeah, we're good. Oh my God, bless these hearts. I love this so much. And it took me back to why, again, we do the shit that we do. They didn't send a car. I didn't get a trailer. They didn't have a second team to go for me, so I didn't have to start through the lights. They didn't have to blah, blah, blah. But I also didn't have to deal with a lot of assholes. Yeah. I dealt with really great, wonderful people who were cooperating in such a way, and Brooklyn 45 was like this too, cooperating in such a way that exceeds any other kind of pleasure one can derive from working in film, for me. And it just got better and better and better and better and better.
That was the Airbnb. That was the Airbnb that you are. I was talking. The poop was in the downtown location.
Oh, there's always poop downtown.
Yeah, the second.
Oh, that's right, because I practically slipped on it. That's right.
What?
Yeah, I almost did. I was wearing these cowboy boots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
I would have sued your asses so fast, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Black Force Films, I own you now.
And of course, I'm going to show the poster, because this right here.
I love that.
I mean, this thing is. I mean, the poster itself sells the movie. I mean, it pretty much shows everything. It shows everything from action, like I mentioned. There's drama, there's comedy, there's a little bit of everything in this movie. Now, for those that I mean, I was able to watch it, last week. I believe, last week, and I watched it again the day before yesterday. Why should everybody go watch this movie? Let me ask you guys.
You take that, Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't predict what's going to happen. It's a wild ride of a film. It has many different elements laid in all together. And yeah, I'd like to say it's, I mean, Addison obviously wrote it and, co-directed it with Jasmine, but I feel like those two have a very kind of unique voice that comes across, and they, love creating very individual characters, and meshing that all together in this kind of hodgepodge of different flavors, I guess.
No, definitely.
And to watch them work together was really an interesting lesson for me. If there was ever any kind of problem or issue that they needed to deal with, they would separate themselves from the cast, go off in the next room, discuss, and come back. And it was just, it wasn't, what are you talking about? No, we can't do that.
Relationship goals.
What?
Right? Relationship goals, to
Yeah,
have that kind of a vibe with somebody is like amazing. The way they always, even if they disagreed, they'd get together, they'd speak to each other with respect, and they'd work it out, and then come back and be whatever they decided they'd both stick to. It was like,
It
wow.
was so great.
And the script was like, I wish I got scripts like that all the time. I don't. I would do everything. If someone handed me scripts like that all the time, I would do it every time. It was so awesome. It's got, you're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you're going to enjoy it and have a good time. It doesn't take itself super seriously either. And you're going to feel really awkward at times. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens, and I love weird stuff. It's definitely a movie worth seeing. It's a very unique film, and I would do 10 more if I could. I really would. With the same people, I would do 10.
I would too.
10 of these.
No, yeah,
100%.
I was able to save some steals, and I'm just gonna prop them on here real quick. Look at this.
Oh, I love that shot.
Man, these. I mean, like I said, the movie itself. I was looking at the photo images, and I was just like, man. I mean, they captured the moment. I don't recognize this guy. I don't know where the locks are at. But not here.
Different hair then.
I thought it was pulled back. Are you shorn now?
It's different.
Yeah, it's short.
Oh my God, his military cut, dude.
Totally shaved. Yeah.
Where did it go? You were just like, I'm done.
I got sick of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my hair is different too. I'm wearing a wig right now because I wanted to be closer to the character, but I'm platinum blonde now.
Yeah?
So yeah.
All right, whip it off.
I'm purple. I go from purple to blonde to purple to blonde.
I want to see it. Whip it off.
Oh no. I'm gonna have because I've got stuff. It's all pink. It would be madness. But yeah, there's pictures on the internet. You know, you can look
Yeah,
at those.
yeah, I hear you. That happens.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, Alyssa, is that Platinum Blonde? Is that for a script? I mean, are you working on a film?
Not currently, but I wanted to go purple again for a long time. I love my hair purple, and I can
It's
bounce from
nice.
the blonde to the purple, but when it's black, that's it. And
Yeah.
it took so long to get this black out of my hair. It took like years to finally get them to be able to strip it out. So I'm not going back. But I do have a really nice wig. I've got all these. What are they called? They're
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
oh, you couldn't. I shouldn't have said anything then.
Yeah, the purple also the purple, Alyssa, the purple matches your eyes so beautiful. It just really brings out your eyes so well. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
those Elizabeth Taylor kind of eyes. They're just like, ooh, I've
for
never seen
some
that color
reason,
before.
I get hired more with the black hair than anything else.
I
So
can
that
believe
was what made me do it, but I wasn't happy with it. So
Mhm,
I'm
mhm.
always changing. I got to keep changing, growing, and I can't stay the same too long or do the same thing too long, or I start to get antsy, you know. Uh, so yeah, that's. But yeah, it's you know, I did not even. It looks like your hair is just pinned back. I didn't even know you cut it
I
off.
thought you got to
What
pull back.
provoked it? What made you do that?
I think, well, yeah, I had long hair for quite a while. I started growing it out during the pandemic just for fun because I'd never done it before in my life. And then when we were doing, like, we were planning Masquerade and stuff back before the pandemic hit, like literally, I think it was like February or March in 2020, and we were planning to go shoot the film. And then pandemic hits, and we're like, oh, we've got to pull the plug at really short notice. So I just kept growing my hair, and then eventually I was like, oh, I could do anything with it. Like, you know, what should I do for the character? And I kept coming back to like a Snake Plissken kind of mullet. So, and you know, mullets kind of, you know, maybe the Australians didn't invent the mullet, but we've definitely owned the mullet.
Yeah, you have
Sure.
mullet in your soul,
For
is
sure.
what you have.
Yeah, so I just had that for a while, and then eventually I was like, I just want to shave it and go back to, you know,
Nice,
just
nice.
back to
Well, if
nothing
we do
again.
a sequel, are we going to have the same hair? I guess we should, right?
Oh.
Or
Oh, you
something
could,
Yeah.
work, you could work that in easy. Like you have to disguise yourselves or something. You throw on a black wig, you shave your head, you're done.
There you
Okay, there you
You know,
go.
that's easy breezy. Yeah, you know, I'm in the business. Here's
go.
I have a question. Now, I've got my own answer, but I want to know, Dylan, sorry, Dylan, and Lisa's, what was the most fun
Ooh.
memory for y'all? And don't say the whole thing. That's a cop-out.
Most fun. That's a good
Memory,
question.
Vegas was fun.
What's
Vegas
that?
was
Vegas.
really. I'm sorry you weren't there for that, Ezra, because
Vegas,
we
those
went in with
Vegas
a
trips were
bang.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas was fun because that was the first scenes that we did with you, Alyssa, was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
you
was
got
great to
Portland
like
after?
meet
And we
you.
all got hammered to get to know one another. It was nice. Yeah.
You shot the early Portland shit later? After Vegas?
Well, I think Portland was before, but I wasn't in Portland. So
Yeah,
they-
then
Front
you're
up.
sitting by the car at one point, aren't you?
Oh, but that's actually in LA. It's supposed to be Portland.
Nice
Right.
coverage. Nice cover.
Yeah. You bought it. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm
Fooled
actually.
you, Ezra.
Can I tell you my favorite memory? I
Yeah.
loved it so much. It was the day of the Dirty Feet and the Hope. We're not shooting, and I'm not sure where I've been there like an hour. We're not really doing what's going. And either Addison or Jasmine one come up to explain to me. It's like, oh, something's happened. We've lost a cast member for the scenes that we're going to be shooting. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. Well, what was the role? And it was, you know, standard kind of, if you look at it through Los Angeles eyes, kind of a bimbo kind of girl, maybe junkie, maybe not, former stripper, maybe not, you know, beep, 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 kind of thing. And so I went through a list of women. I said, let me try and find somebody. So I went through like 6 or 7 actresses I know who would have fit it perfectly, and 0 were available because they had to come like in 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that to use downtown. And then I kept going through my list, and I landed on a name. And I went out back, and there's poor Jasmine and Addison. They're just like, talking to each other in the backyard. I said, I got a quick question. And they're like, what? And I goes, does this character, this female character, does it have to be a woman? And they kind of look at each other and went, well, I said, well, what about drag queen or trans or something there in that world, non-binary, whatever. And they went, yeah, So I went, well, would you be interested in John, who's a friend of mine who plays Love Connie? And they went, oh my God, we love Love Connie.
We love Connie.
Which was such a great reaction. So of course I called John immediately. He goes, how much, where, when? And he was there. He was there. He brought in an Uber or a cab or something. He brought like all sorts of fucking clothes for him to wear. This queen did not fuck around, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. And I was thrilled to. And he's so good in the movie.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so good. It was so great to do those scenes where we were bonding and feeling sorry for one another and sympathizing. And
exactly, right?
Oh, I love that. I love that. Our
Beautiful.
little exchange
That's
is one of my favorite moments of everything.
And now, of course, the bitch is going to star as a heading role in a film, and she didn't even talk to me anymore. No, she's got a show, I think, this weekend. I'm going to try and catch
Oh, really?
Oh,
You know, honestly, that happened a couple times. There were other actors that dropped off on this one. I was the one that brought Jackie in.
mhm.
And I think we had a couple that, and it's like, why wouldn't you be here? This is like, I don't understand. It's mind blowing, but people are flaky in LA, and I don't know. It's like, you're a paid actor. Why are you not here? I don't get it. But there were a few, and it was very much on the fly. The same thing where we had to find somebody the day of. So I was calling everybody I knew. And that day with Ezra jumped on it. So that was good that he found
so
Connie. Connie added so much.
And what's funny too is that character, her character now being a drag queen, basically, because John's not trans, but drag queen, totally put a different light on my character.
Right.
Totally different guy.
Completely.
Yeah. I mean, he was acting out in those early films with like your character, Lisa. He was acting out on something I think he didn't understand. And finally, he's found some kind of happiness or companionship with a chick with a dick. It was kind of amazing, actually. Yeah, it's really, really cool.
You know, when I was a kid, I got punched in the face by a boy that ended up later being gay, and we probably would get along fine now. But back then, I think he was angry at the fact that, he wasn't feeling the way he should towards. I don't know. He wanted to like make out. I said no. He knocked, that little piece of skin that attaches your lip to your gums up here.
Oh wow! Yes.
Yeah, he knocked it right, spit it right out. It was bleeding everywhere. Super gross. Yeah. Yeah. I was like 13 maybe, but I later found out he became gay. And most of the time, me and gays are like this. This was the only time I've ever had a thing, but I feel like maybe he was mad at himself for not.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And I think the same thing with your character. Maybe that was part of it,
That's exactly where I went with it. As soon as Love Connie came on board, I went, oh, this is a totally different game now. It wouldn't have been played any differently at all by me, I don't think. It's all inner stuff.
Right.
It's all
you were bitter and angry from the get-go.
Yeah.
You were an asshole.
It's kind of my go-to.
Wait, was that before you guys started filming or after?
Spider Witch.
John kind of blew me away as well because so little prepreration and just came on and totally nailed the scene.
He damn near broke my ribs too at one point. His thighs.
Was that the sex scene?
He's a former dancer in New York, and he's like caressing me. I went, "Fucking mark it, asshole!" It's like you don't have to do it. Like, God, the last time that happened, my dominatrix friend Cara, who now lives in Vegas, she did it too. She had a scissor lock, and I'd seen some of her videos. I can handle a scissor lock. I was wrong. We both heard the pop. It's like, oh fuck, man, can't take it anymore.
Didn't you say 40%? 40%?
Yeah.
40%.
What's the safe word?
And for me, that's what I was saying earlier, because there were so many emotions that while I was watching the film that I felt, because I was like, man, like, you know what? Like I kind of went through the same scenario you guys were going through, and I could relate to not the same scene, but just the emotions that had to be coming through. Because everything about this film was great. I'm glad I saw it. I mean, when I finished watching it last week, I was like, damn, I gotta watch it again. It was that good. So I'm hoping, for those Alyssa, you were saying some of the actors bailed on it, and it's their loss because this is a good one. This is a very, very good film.
Really is.
And
I know. I
people
love
that
this one the best out of, I don't know, 150 that I've done. This film has the specialist place in my heart. Don't tell everybody else, but it's the
oh no,
Oh,
nobody
that's
on
it's
sweet.
the cast and the way we grew and the way it was such a family, and the script and the role itself. It was my ultimate favorite film ever.
And there
So
really is supposed
Oh,
or was supposed to be a sequel. I want to wait and see what happens with that.
me too.
great.
I think you're definitely. I heard a little about what they're planning to do with you, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, a little reprisal maybe.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
I don't know
See?
that I've heard
Do you
this.
guys see the parallel with An American Masquerade and Baby Reindeer a little bit with my character? Because when I watched Baby Reindeer, I was like, oh my God, it's almost the same dynamic between
With which
Ezra and
character,
I.
Howard? With her, with the main lead character?
No, with the guy and his relationship with the producer reminded me so
Mm.
much of my relationship with you. And maybe that was just coming, maybe that's just me, but
What? I don't remember a scene with the guy and the producer.
when he's drugging him and he's raping him.
Oh,
and
that guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. I was thinking a woman.
Yeah, and he doesn't get his revenge, but it's the same kind of like, well, this is a power figure that I'm supposed to, respect and look up to, and I really want this career desperately, and
It's
and
kind
he
of funny
takes
too,
full
because
advantage, like
in
Me
the
Too stuff.
show, you're right, because in the show, the character doesn't actually get his revenge, but the
Mhm.
author, I can't think of his name, the award-winning showrunner guy, and that show started as a theater piece in Edinburgh, and
Oh, I didn't know that.
oh yeah, it
That's
was a
right.
stage play,
That's so cool.
and the filmmaker, actually did get his revenge on that guy.
Oh, good.
Apparently, everybody in the UK knows exactly who he's talking about.
Mm.
Right.
It's like an
I had heard
inside
that.
secret in the
So
UK.
he's been pinned as yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That was a
I
good
like
one.
hearing stories like that. People need to, karma, like
Yeah,
the
I
good
get
and the bad.
Oh yeah, you see, I think one of this other podcast I had jumped on, like we had asked each other as far as different questions, and one of them was like, what movie that you just had to kind of root for the bad guy? One of them was Carrie. That was my choice because I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
she's being bullied, and this is kind of like what it reminds me of, because yeah, you kind of had to cheer for him because I mean the trauma, everything that the character had to go through, of course, in Indy, and you can not but feel sorry and feel glad that she did get her revenge, and of course
Oh yeah, nobody feels bad for him. No offense,
No.
Ezra, but
No,
nobody
no,
does.
no.
Except maybe a little at the end. I will say there's a moment where you start to a little bit feel like, well, he doesn't mean to be this fucked up, and
Yeah.
he just had his dick smashed, which
Well,
is
Spoiler.
fun.
Yeah.
massive
thing.
dick smash. Massive, please use the right word. The thing too,
Massive
with regard to
smash.
that, because I tend
Massive
to
smash.
play a lot of assholes, like Elisa said, and she's right. I really enjoy it because I do. Because
It's what you do
finding
best. You are so good at that. So
the thing
good.
is, the key is with any role, really, but certainly with villains, the key is to find what is motivating this person to do these things. No villain thinks they're a villain unless you're watching a Marvel film or a Disney film or some other
Right.
corporate piece of crap that just is like, okay, here's beat one, here's beat two, here's now pause here, now the hero has to lose, now it's such garbage. With independent, like Tarantino's films, especially, for example, with indie films like that, we feel for every single one of those characters. I mean, in Jackie Brown, for God's sake, God, I'm so bad at names. I love him so much. Who plays the bad guy? Let's go on down and get some chicken and waffles. Who plays the fucking black male lead in that?
And Jackie Brown?
Yeah.
Oh, Samuel L.
I can't
Jackson.
remember.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
It's the drugs, is what it is, kids. Say no to muscle relaxers.
There you go.
Anyway, his character, I felt so much for his character.
Right.
I could see it because we go inside the heart. An actor goes inside the heart to find whatever it is that's motivating them. And if that comes out in an incredibly dysfunctional and dangerous way, then you're going to taste it, but that's fine because the audience, I think it's almost like spiritual. The audience or organic in some way. the audience senses and feels whatever it is that character has been through in the past, whether it's ever mentioned or not, if it's done correctly. We all have to have we all do have our reasons for motivating the things that we do. And with bad guys, that's sometimes a challenge, but it's always, for me, incredibly rewarding because it's just, oh, look, I humanized a monster.
Yeah, especially in Ted's movie that you did.
Oh,
That
Brooklyn
was like-
25. Yeah, that was, oh God, that show. Ooh, Jesus. I had a moment. We were shooting.
I did not expect to feel sorry for him. I really didn't. But there was a moment where I went, you were mourning, and I don't want to reveal too much. Something horrible happens.
I wouldn't worry about it. It's been out a while.
But when you're mourning the loss that you suffer, and I just was like, I can't believe I'm sympathizing with this fucking Nazi.
Yay, I win. What's funny about that too is I remember one night when we were shooting, we had long days and we shot in succession, which was great. You never get to do that, and that was fabulous. I've got a big scene. I've got a lot of lines and blah, blah. I can't remember now which scene it was or what it was I had said. But as soon as I said the line and they cold cut, I went over to Ted and I said, I have to leave the set for a minute. And I've never done that. I mean, I'm not that kind of actor. I'm not a method guy. I get it, and I can do it. But I don't have to stay in character all the fucking time and blah, 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 whatever. That's maybe it's dialects. But I took some time alone off of our wonderful little set that we had and off by a loading dock area. And because I suddenly realized exactly everything it was that had motivated my stepfather, who got along with me but didn't get me. And back at you, Dick. It really was an overwhelming moment. Speaking to connecting with our emotions, at least it's just like, holy fucking God. And once I processed that, once I figured it out, then I had even more places to go. Because my stepfather was kind of a dick and kind of a drunk, and his name was Dick. And it was an extraordinary experience. So I'm glad you got that, Lisa. That makes me feel very
happy. Oh, everybody got it. It was my favorite. You were my favorite part of the movie for sure. It was,
it's great.
I just never thought I would ever, in a moment, like a character that awful, and it wasn't just like, oh, I like him because he's bad. It was like I feel genuinely sorry for this man and what he's suffering, and everyone's a victim here. It's not just and. War is the real criminal, it's not, and it was, anyway, I have, I'm a big Ezra fan. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing it.
Brooklyn 45 is the name of the movie. I don't know where it's available.
And Ted's amazing. The director is a good friend of ours of many years.
Best. Oh my God,
I just heard from him today. They're doing like a We Are Still Here 10-year anniversary, which is so scary to me that it's been 10 years. Yeah, Dark Sky's doing a release, so I wonder if I was supposed to say that or not. Well, let's just.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys, because I've done on a few projects here in Texas, and they give you the script. A lot of times, if I get it in advance, I become that person. Kind of like what Edward was saying. You kind of have to be in there, getting those shoes. Is there part of your script that you guys kind of kept obviously you got to make it your own. So was there something that wasn't on the script that was on the film? I don't know if that makes sense.
So this was the only time where I didn't rewrite anything, really, not a single thing. And I usually am one of those people that goes in and makes the character sound like the way I talk, but they wrote it the way I speak. It was like they knew me without knowing me. It was so weird. So pretty much everything you saw, I don't think there was a whole lot of improv on my part.
Mine either. I don't remember a lot. I think they allowed us, John and I, to do some sort of ad-libbing after your characters have left, and we're left alone in the room right before she takes her own kind of action that cherry buttons the scene. There might have been a little improv there, but there was really no need. I mean, for me, the script was so clear. And I had this lovely speech in what it's saying and doing and wanting to say and do that there was no need to. And I'm really good at improv. I love improv.
Yeah, same. It's usually my comfort zone, but this
exactly.
didn't
and that's the stuff that ends up in the final cut usually. But yeah, no, not in this one. Not a lot.
Yeah, I was pretty on script too. I think I only managed to get. Oh well, there was one joke that I wanted to put in, which is where we're in the hotel room, about Mandingo.
Oh yeah.
That was just
Mandingo.
something that I thought would be funny. So I was like, "Oh, do you mind?" I'd always check with Addison because he's the writer that he's all right with it, and then put it in.
That's
Yeah,
you should always check in. I always
Oh,
try. I mean,
definitely.
are you open to this? Me screwing around a little bit, or I never just like do it without.
And
Yeah.
sometimes the director will say, "Okay, let's do it again this time for the actor," which means that you can do whatever the hell you want,
Mhm.
which is also good. Yeah.
No, for sure. And of course, guys, I mean, on this one, I think earlier you guys had stated that nobody's worked together before, right, on the film?
No.
Wow. So how long did it take before you guys actually got comfortable? I mean, with just, I mean, I know.
One night of having drink.
it was.
We went out and had a good time in Vegas before we weren't filming that night when they set it up that way on purpose. They said, look,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is going to be our day to, and Ezra just kind of walked in, and I've known Ezra for years, and we've
Yeah,
been really
we've been circling each other for years.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
and you know how many people have like asked me for Ezra, and I've never really felt like I can go to him with this. But this script, I felt like this is his role. Like he's gonna kill this. So
Come to me with it.
really, okay.
Are you kidding
People do
me?
ask
I
me
just
for
did
you,
one
or they
line
ask
on
me
some
for
piece of
someone
shit
like
TV
you.
show. On the bookie, I get one frickin' line. Oh, girl, if I'll do it. I don't care how big a part is.
Okay.
Man.
Oh
And-
yeah.
and-
I feel like you need a certain level,
No,
you're
I
an
do not.
elevated.
I have exactly that much pride. That much right there. Maybe a little less, just not that much. But I gotta like
I
the
have
script.
none
That's all that
either.
matters.
I
What?
have none.
From my side, I mean, obviously this was the first time working with Ezra and Alyssa. I had worked with Yoji, who's the other lead with me and Alyssa. We never really acted together, but we were in a film together that I produced with Addison and Jasmine in Japan, and that was a Japanese language film called The Viper's Hex. So that was a lot of fun.
I
That was in
saw
like
the trailer.
2017. And then we maintained a friendship from there. And also the crew that was involved in this film, we made another film in Australia called My Cherry Pie, which was like a slasher throwback. Yeah.
That's a great movie. I love
Oh,
that
thank
film
you.
so much.
I
And I
love that
did see the
title.
trailer for Viper's Hex like a couple weeks ago. I was like, this looks awesome. I don't speak Japanese, but it looked really awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
The
It's
lead girl is really good in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saya's awesome in it, and so is Yoji. I mean, yeah, it was. It's a cool film, and it is out at the moment. I forget what it's out on. There was a Blu-ray, but yeah, I think it's on some streaming platforms as well.
Nice, man. The
That's
subtitles,
all we
right?
have now. All we have is streaming platforms.
I know. That's all there
Yeah,
is.
Yeah.
Crazy.
that's right. Yeah,
And of
Nuts.
course, one of the things I had brought up earlier with Dylan was for myself. I mean, because I still skateboard. I mean, I'm still as bad as I was in the '80s, right? I didn't get any better. But when I go to the skate park, and it doesn't matter who's in there. I mean, you click. You have that in common. So later, same thing in life. I'll be talking to somebody and they're in a suit and tie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I do this, and they're like, oh yeah, me too. So we have that in common because in a everyday world, like I don't think any of us would. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we would click and hang out, but I think this is what brings everybody from all walks of life together because it's like, okay, we all want to do film, we all want to do, be actors, actresses, and it's something that you can relate to, and it's comfortable because if it wasn't for filming or movies, I don't think, I mean, who knows? Maybe some of you guys would be friends outside, but it's just I like that about it, because every time for a while, like 2-3 months, we were just filming, different projects, and then the dry spell, holidays, and
Yeah.
now I'm like 2-3 months, and I'm like, damn, nobody's filming, what's going on, but
Yeah, I get it.
you miss it,
Yeah.
and but let me say this, you brought up Alyssa, you brought up the possible sequel for the film that was
Yes.
brought up.
And it sounds awesome from the stuff I've
I-
heard that they're kind
Yes,
of running through. Yeah.
because the ending,
It's a road movie too, right? It's a road movie.
Another road movie,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's
There
I
you
don't I
go.
think it's in New York. I think they were saying not the same road.
I was
New
On
gonna
the
road.
say,
run.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be in Australia? Because now you got to go to his world. There you go.
Well,
Oh,
so
I would
that
do that.
that
I would
that
do
is
that so
something else
freaking fast.
we have
Oh, I
there.
hate spiders, but I'd go.
Yeah, so that's the other thing that I spoke to Addison about, that we're talking about possibly doing a film in Australia at some point. And
That'd be
not
awesome.
an American Masquerade film, it's a different film.
Mhm.
But it's like a creature feature. It sounds really cool, and I hope it happens. It sounds really, anytime I can work with these people, any of them, I will. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a day and I have one line. I don't care, whatever it is, I will be there
Yeah, I
because
agree. I'm with you.
yeah, it's
Well,
just
on that topic, we are planning to film a feature in November, I think. November, which will be the next feature that we make, which is called Grand Finale: A New York Odyssey, and it actually features Love Connie. So John will be the main role, and yeah, I think Ezra, you've got a fairly substantial role in that one, and it'll be super exciting. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to film it in New York. And yeah, we're launching an Indiegogo as well through Black Forest Films in early May. So
Lucky
yeah.
Alyssa. She's pissed she wasn't in the movie.
Well, Alyssa will be part of it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the details yet with Alyssa's involvement. But Alyssa's always amazing, so I hope that she can be involved as much as she can.
Funny thing about movies too, and this is also true with theater. Two things. One, when you're on the film set for any amount of time, more than let's just say a week, you become a family. There's definitely a family element to it. Good family, bad family is still a family, and then when it's done, it's done, and that's one of the heartbreaks of it, because it's
Oh yeah.
kind of hard to let go, and yet at the same time, you're going on to be the next family. The other thing, and about film in particular, and this is not true of theater. In fact, that it's the name of the book I'm currently working on, a collection of comedic essays about working in the business. And it's called "You Don't Have the Gig Until Wardrobe Calls."
Nice.
That means your agent can say yes, the studio can say yes, the directors can say yes, but until you have that phone call, and it's always a phone call. Hello, is this Ezra? Yeah. What are your sizes? Then you're in the movie. Till then, plan on nothing. So with regard to what you were just saying, Dylan, yes, I am attached to this movie, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm pissed at Miss Love Connie, because she hasn't called me back and said, "Hey, thank you for giving me that bit part. Now I'm the lead in the next fucking movie." She'll take that.
Yeah.
I know where she'll put it. And I don't know, I'm very excited. But again, I don't plan on anything until wardrobe calls.
Yep.
It's nice.
No fair.
No,
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, for sure. You know, it's just like you said. I mean, everybody's interested. They might want you on there. Oh, I think we got her back. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Here we go.
Happened.
Back.
Were you
Your
pissed?
fault.
Were you pissed about a grand finale in New York?
I was like,
Born
now
down
we
your
got
Florida home.
Now I look like such an asshole. It looks like I just like closed out and said goodbye to everybody.
No, not at all. It was Ezra planting that idea
Yeah, no, I literally
that
thought
you
this. I
left in the
thought the
half.
same thing. I was like, this is a horrible time for this to happen. Like,
I'm gonna go see the alligators and raccoons now. Goodbye.
Guys. Well, I don't want to hang up. I don't want to let go because you guys are so freaking awesome. You know, this movie. I mean, it definitely it needs to be watched. You know, for those that are watching this, that are watching later, you know, go check it out. You know, an American Masquerade. It's an American masterpiece. I'll say that because this thing has a little bit of everything in there, guys. So I'm truly a fan. I'm not just saying that because you guys are on here. I mean, I know your past work. I know as far as some of the other films projects that you guys have jumped on. I'm a fan. You know, I've enjoyed your work. I'm definitely gonna take this one with me. Definitely thumbs up, man. You know, you guys did a phenomenal job. The directors, writer, of course. You know, the casting crew always. You know, whoever worked the lights and boomstick. You know, those are hard work, but everybody involved did a phenomenal job. And man, you know, congratulations, great job.
Thank you, man.
thank you.
Appreciate that.
Oh, no problem,
We
guys.
worked
I miss
hard.
you guys.
Yeah,
I
it's
miss
just
you too, Ezra. I miss both you guys so much. Like,
No,
Nobody's
I
in
know.
LA anymore. Everybody left fucking LA, man.
Well, I still have a place there. I just have to find reasons to show up. So if you have a party, let me know.
Yeah, she'll bring a whole bunch of raccoons
Or
with
some
her.
See what
work.
I can
Even
do.
better. Some work would be good too.
There you go. But yeah, guys, we'll start with Dylan. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, I already covered the next feature that we're making. So yeah, we for Black Forest we have a Facebook and an Instagram that we've got a bunch of casting announcements on there about who's involved and details about the film. So please check that out. I think our Instagram's black_forest_films. And yeah, that's what I'm most excited for. I've already booked my flight and everything like that.
Yay.
So
I'm coming to visit.
All
what's
right.
that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
drop in and be like, "Hey guys."
I can't wait to see New York again. I was there for years, and I haven't been back since I left like 21 years ago. I still have friends in there. In fact, my old roommate might be nominated for a Tony. I'm very excited to hear that.
Awesome.
The show Oh Mary, have you guys heard of that show? It's gigantic, and she plays sort of the nanny to Mary. I haven't been able to see it, but yeah, she might be nominated. I'm thrilled to death to see her.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I
Is
guess
that Gabby?
what's that?
It's not Gabby, is it?
Gabby, my friend Gabby?
Mm.
Oh no, Gabby Santalitro, the one who's here?
Yeah, I figured, is she a New Yorker?
No,
she
she was
like okay.
In fact, she was just over this last Monday night, and we watched the finale of White Lotus wearing Taiwan clothes and eating Thai food. It was so great.
The last time I was in New York, it was for a funeral of somebody that I was very close to. So I need to go back and make it fun. You know what I mean?
Cleanse the palate. Yeah, exactly. Now, then, with regard to what you were asking, Spider, the next thing that anybody can see for me, I think I'm kind of right in the middle of shooting a very, very tiny little part on like of a coroner or something on Ryan Murphy's Monsters, the Ed Gein story.
Holy shit,
That was
Ezra!
It was. I'm happy with a small part.
Oh my god!
A great series. Not a big Ryan Murphy fan, but I really love the series, and I love seeing it. It's fascinating. And the guy, brilliant actor, can't think of his name, of course, playing Ed Gein. When I first saw, because he's kind of a handsome dude, I went, "That's not fucking Ed Gein. I'm Ed Gein. What the hell is this?" But man, what he was doing in that scene, it's just, whew, it'll blow your tits off, Alyssa. It really will. It was really something interesting. So that's the next thing. And then apparently maybe some kind of movie in November. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the
that's amazing, Ezra. That is so freaking cool. I watch all his stuff, so I can't wait to see you on there. Be like, I know him. He's my friend. I almost went to one of his parties once years ago. My friend Paul was producing something that he was I directing, and he invited me, but I was filming that day, and I'll never forget it. I was filming Rootwood actually, and I wanted to bring the whole crew and everybody to the party. Because, like, I don't know if you know, but Marcel's a really huge fan of his as well. So,
Marcel Waltz, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
But we couldn't get back on time. So,
what was it you did with Marcel? I saw the screening that you did, the film you shot. Was that Rootwood?
Rootwood, yeah, we did Rootwood together. Yeah, that was the only
screening there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You were there.
Yeah,
you came with us. Yeah.
That was
and Marv.
I love the idea that you're just going to show up at a party with an entire film crew as your entourage.
Yeah, well, I was like, I knew how much everybody wanted to be there, and I didn't want to exclude anybody. I always like to include as much as I can. So, and my friend Paul was, he didn't tell me how many people it could bring, but I was just going to kind of show up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But Alyssa, anything you want to say before you wrap this up?
Be nice to raccoons, guys.
Yes.
And hire me more.
But don't get too close.
Yeah. Because they got, as come to find out, I think Dylan, you were saying they got thumbs. I didn't know they had thumbs. I mean, as far as
they got thumbs.
Oh yeah.
Ezra dropping that on me. I know very little about raccoons.
Yeah, Fremont, our raccoon, no matter where my mother hid them, that fucking thing would find her Christmas decorations, which she cherished, and he would go in and he would take them and he would steal them and hide them in all sorts of things because they could pick it up.
They're bandits. Yeah, they'll take anything. Yeah,
exactly right. They're bandits. They love to hunt and find.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Well, guys, I do appreciate this. Like I said, I hate to let y'all go, but I'm definitely going to be in touch. I'm going to be following. I'm a huge fan. You got a fan here in Texas, and I'm sure you're going to get more.
Nice
And,
meeting you. Thank you for
Thank you,
supporting our
Spider.
movie.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
guys.
Thank you, Spider.
Don't hang up yet, though. Everybody out there, of course, once again, Spider here, Coming Soon Podcast. As always, till next time.